What if I told you that the next greatest scientific innovation was going to happen from a 10th grader in high school wearing one of these? This is a VR headset. This gives you the capability of going into another world, to bring the world into your space. But not only that, a lot of people see virtual reality as a gaming device, but it also has the capability of bringing in real data, real scientific data, and actually sharing opportunities from across the planet. Imagine if this is the new textbook. So this is real data. This is an MRI scan from a human brain. As you can see, it's very high resolution. And we can render that with state-of-the-art technology in a headset. So imagine, instead of passive learning, instead of students reading from a textbook or listening to a teacher, they can actually dive into a human brain and learn about discoveries of the brain or work with researchers around the globe. This is happening now, and it's happening in Midland, Texas. So I don't know about you, I'm going to date myself here. So I remember when I would do a research project for school, I would open up an encyclopedia. So how many of you used encyclopedia, right? If you mention that to students nowadays, they might scratch their head a little bit, right? What is this encyclopedia? But students today are very different. They're very different learners than when I went to school, and many of you went to school. Think about TikTok. Think about social media. You got a smartphone, right? And you're used to seeing people going like this all day long, right? And you think about students before they go to school or after school. This is the way they get their information. Short blast of information. And not only do they get their information this way, they can only tolerate short blasts of information. So the static environment in the classroom just doesn't work anymore. Publishers, I had conversations with publishing companies, and publishers are losing kids because it's boring. They're not engaged. It's not exciting. It's not tangible. So educators need to explore how their practice can simultaneously evolve with science and research. Virtual reality can show things in the world in a totally different perspective. You can see the silhouette here of somebody in virtual reality. And this is a zebrafish. This is a tiny little fish, and you can make it as big as a house. So you can explore and see things in a whole nother fashion through this type of capability. Take, for instance, here in Midland, Ashley Johnson. She realized she's a veteran teacher. She was awesome at doing anatomy. But she realized she's losing kids because she's losing interest because they need to have this constant engagement in what they're learning. And they need to have that tangible connection to what they're learning. Her students, Tucker, Natalie, Kaylee, they learn faster. Why they learn faster than an immersive environment? Their attention is in that environment. They're excited about what they're learning. It's more engaging. It's real data. This is a human head here. It's an MRI scan, and you can see that there's something really interesting inside of this brain. It's actually a brain tumor. Imagine if students are getting this type of data and they were connecting with post-secondary entities or researchers and had the capability of having that in the classroom. Well, Ashley Johnson's kids do. I don't know how many of you had this when you were in school. What do you want to be when you grow up? I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I constantly change my direction. But that's stop asking them that. That's asking what kind of problems they want to solve today. Like take for instance, Dr. George Spiro, neuroscientist and professor. He's very interested in the developing brain. And so he works with a Nobel laureate, Eric Betzig's microscope. It's called a light sheet microscope to look at really sophisticated brain data. But you know what? It's a lot of data. He can't answer all the questions himself. Why not bring that into a classroom so that students have access to the real data, a real tangible pathway to post-secondary? Or how about Dr. Joy Reidenberg, Icahn School of Medicine, Mount Sinai, New York City. She's very interested in whales and also comparative anatomy across species. Students can help answer questions with her. And you know what? You might see her on Discovery Channel or National Geographic. Imagine her coming into your classroom through virtual reality. Or Dr. Derek Harmon, anatomist, professor. He's very interested in comparative anatomy, but also primarily human anatomy. So pathologies, things like that that students can learn. Every one of these scientists, you can see they're from different regions of the country, but they're all remotely joining Midland schools. Students have access to them both asynchronous and synchronously. So imagine Dr. Joy Reinberg coming in your headset, talking about her scientific experiment, and then students contributing to her research in an everyday classroom. This is the future of education. Here's Kanish, great example. Here he is, he's looking at human data. He's able to isolate that data. He's able to, what we call segmentation, so you can segmentate the brain. Imagine learning from the actual thing, the actual human data, instead of a textbook. So let me ask you this, what if? I don't know, many places around the United States. I know Midland has this crisis right now. We have an increase in population, but we have a decrease in those practitioners in the health sector. How can we take a technology solution like virtual reality to be that catalyst to connect everyone together? What if we created an opportunity for preparation for students, just like I shared with you, with real data, real scientists? Post-secondary can create micro-credentials through that same solution to those K-12 students, ultimately guiding them into a pathway to a need that we can build a workforce. At the same time, research collaborations, where students here in Midland can collaborate with Texas Tech Health Sciences and ask or help answer really difficult scientific questions. Imagine that on their resume when they graduate from high school, and ultimately filling a need. This same model, this is the secret sauce to a model that can be filled in any discipline, whether it's the energy sector, engineering. So I'll leave you with this. Here we see an amazing piece of data. This is the very first, what we call the cleared human eye. This was taken at the Paris Eye Institute. This data was in a classroom here in Midland even before it was published, because technology gave that opportunity to those students. So the classroom of tomorrow is not going to look like the classroom of today. It's going to look very different, and the students will shape what they learn. Thank you.